Oh, okay. You guys, I guess we're all live. So hi. Excuse me. Let me take care of that. I am Shauna, and this is Ring of Light Crafts. Hi, Ruth. How are you today? Bear with me while I send this out, okay? I'm sorry. Usually Red does it for me, but she's taking a test. She's in school taking a test right now. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Please forgive me. So anyways, I'm out of breath. So sorry. Catch my breath. Hi, Johnny. Okay, I think I'm figuring this out. What I'm trying to do is hi, Brooklyn, welcome. We want to go ahead and work on, I want to work on a nude. I believe this is video live 3 on, I call it the nude because right now technically it's just a basic, so there's nothing else on her. Technically, she's nude. But I'm trying to figure out how to send this real super fast, and it just dawned on me how to do it. 1 second, please forgive me. Okay, I know how to do it now. This button. I was clicking the wrong button. Let's see. I think I got this down. Yes. Yes. See, I have to learn too, huh? That's what we're all here for, to learn. Okay, and I got it. And we unplug this thing, otherwise it'll keep talking to us, and we don't want it to talk to us. Today, what we're gonna do is go ahead and we're gonna finish working. Let me move that aside. This one up here. We're gonna go ahead and continue to work on our creature, if you will. Sorry, my allergies are killing me. They said it's supposed to rain. No rain, a lot of wind. So it's like really overwhelming. Okay, as you can see, this is all creature here. And today what we're gonna do is start working on, I don't know who I missed, but welcome. Let me scoot that back so you guys see a little better, I'm hoping. Okay, we already got the basic front, and you guys remember how I told you to check for the proper sizing to what you want. And then the length of the body. Then I decided I wanted legs. I went ahead before the live. I pre-cut just the front so I can see what tool to use to cut the wire to start shaping her legs. Let me load this a little. You're not here to see me. There we go. I did not send out a message saying I'm going out. So if you guys don't mind, let your friends know. We're not allowed to say that anymore. So anyways, so I already cut the front to see what I can cut it with. And I wanted to be able to tell you guys. At this rate, we can actually still use scissors. These are Dollar Tree scissors, so $1.08. So if they break, it's okay. It's $1.08. And I had them for a while. Although I really do like these. The Betty Crocker scissors. Pretty cool. We're all going to use some twine. Once again, this is the 26th grade is what we're going to be using today. And we're going to go ahead. I already got the front cut. And what you do is you just cut up. Let me back up too, just a little. Here she is. Okay. We got the basics. So we got the idea of the belly. The belly's here with this little bit of pudge. Who knows? She may be very big by the time we finish. But right now, this is just all skeleton, if you will. So I just cut up to about where it would end, and then, growing area of a human that comes down into her legs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and measure back. And it's about right, because my hands, I don't know if you can see it, my fingers are right here. So once again, if you go to the top and you scale down, here's the base of the center of her back. Then you're coming up to her buttocks area. And my fingers, oops, my whole hand slid in there, forgive me. Ow, that hurts. So don't do that. Okay, so if I can just get my fingers to touch again, they're right about here. Okay, so that I guess is going to be interesting because her back actually, if I grab the front of her chest where my hand is, I panel it to the other one, I scroll down, this will still be her back, and it's still coming. Remember, these were supposed to be the chest of a different one, but I added it to this instead. So what we're going to have to do is make sure we just follow down, and we're not going to follow this guideline anymore. We're going to be cutting to the side just a little because she's a little off. So, and that's okay that she's off. It really is. Hi, Mel. Welcome. Hi, Jacqueline. Welcome. I saw some of your live, Jacqueline. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. I'm going to have to go back and watch that. Finish watching it. Oh, hi, Tammy. Yay, Tammy, see you. Okay. Usually Red does that for me. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to scale off. Let me make sure I can see. Can you guys see through there? The whole tunnel will be about like that. And all I'm going to do is use regular scissors. And like I said, these are simple Dollar Tree scissors. And I'm just going to cut out the back. And then, as you can tell, it's a little tougher because the Mod Podge and the paper towel has dried quite thoroughly. So I think it's doing pretty well. And we're going to stand it back up. Perfect. So here I actually have my hands between the creature's legs. So let's put it that way. The other way doesn't sound right. So you can see that where the indent is, we can make our two legs. Start our legs off right there. Now, because there is no wire in there, you can do it 3 different ways. One, you can just make them real small and make them attach, which you can tell most of it does attach, and then you can scope it from there, which is what we're going to do. We're going to attach it that way. But then the upper part of the legs, you're still going to have that hole. I'll show you how to deal with that, the way we're going to do it. The other way you can do it is make the legs bigger and add a piece of wire in there. You can use the same wire, just cut a section out of your basket and just crepe it through here. Well, if you will, ladies, kind of like a pad or like a diaper. And then you're just going to scope it down the legs. But what we're going to do, because the legs do meet, and it's a fairly decent amount towards the bottom, which is what I wanted to focus on more now than anything, because we're going to be making her taller. So let's go ahead and let's attach and make these two stick. Hi, Melissa. Oh, you just got home. Yay, you got home. That's always good to get home safe. You guys feel free to put your business name down. I know we got Ginger's Reef and things on here. And we got Buckeye Girls Reefs and things on here. And I don't have glasses, so I couldn't tell you. So you guys feel free to write your business name in the comments, and people can look you up too. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our 16 gauge wire and see if we can do the same concept that we did up here. But I'm not going to stitch it. I just want to thread it through, and I'm going to lay her down. It's a little harder because I changed my mind how I was going to do it at the last minute. So we're going to squish her legs together, and we're going to fold it out of my way. I'm not going to panic. She is still moldable at this point. So what we're going to do, ouch. Oh, I actually, see, I was a smart girl. Still in bag, but at least I got it, right? Once again, $1.08 thrift store. Dollar Tree. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to debate exactly where, Liz, thank you. Sounds like he's gulping a horse over there. He's actually just being him, drinking water. So we're going to go ahead. Let's put that under. And we're going to go ahead and hook these ones together. We're going to go ahead and do the bottom ones I have here first, okay? So this is day 3. Well, video 3. It's not day 3. I've been gone too long. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to punch a hole through this. You guys, it's not that hard to punch a hole. It's still basically real thin because we haven't got any finalization on at all. Just going to do a few little holes here and there, nothing great, and run our wire through it. But I want to make sure the wire catches a piece of the metal. Let me lower this some so you guys can see what I'm doing. You want to make sure that you're catching the wire basket here itself, okay? And we're just going to go ahead and twist this. Oh, I'm sorry, my great niece. Yeah, my great niece just sent me a photo of her boyfriend. I guess it's his birthday today. They don't live in California. I am going to go ahead and cut this off. So I'm just working with little sections of it. That way I can wire it from one side to the other. And what I did on this side, I'm going to make sure I match it to the other side. I do have this little kind of triangle. Remember we originally was going to make a different female. So we're just going to go ahead and make that work for us. Do the exact same thing, you guys. Poke some holes in it. Come on. Go up a little higher here. And we're just going to thread this through. Just like you're sewing. People that sew, that's all I'm doing. Is I'm sewing this together. Just with a piece of wire. Okay, now that I got it started, let me fold that back under because we don't need that piece. We just want to show you guys. And this is going to be the most challenging part, I think, guys, because you do have to fight with trying to keep the wire where you want it. Not this wire, but the main cage wire that we have in here, the garbage can. And we're just going to go ahead and throw it through a couple of times. Make sure it holds. If they are not even or perfect, don't worry about it. We're just going to flip it right back over on top. You could slide it under, but I'm just going to put it right through. Loop it. We still have the opening. So I'm going to bring that piece to here as well. And we're making kind of like a little X, if you will. And then let me turn it just a little so you can see it. And I'm just making like a little X. A bad X, but it's an X. And then I'm going to go ahead once again, go through the same hole. I'm being extra, I'm putting extra wires on it. Hi, Aline. Hi. Oh, Claudia. I hope I said your name right, hon. I'm going to go ahead and go through those same holes again because I want to make sure it stays tight. And the reason why I'm so thin, I just want this to stay tight is because this is going to be the main support for this part of the leg. It's going to be up here. It's all going to decide whether or not it's going to stay. And at this point, once we get them sewn together, it may not stand. I kind of don't really expect it to stand after this, but that's okay because we're still working at getting to the next level, which is being able to attach the bottom half of her legs together. Okay, so we got her leg going, and once we're done, none of this stuff will show you guys. So if it's not pretty and you're trying one, it's okay if it's not pretty. Don't worry about it. Just move on down the line. Hi, Jane. I know you're going to say you didn't get no information about me coming on. I didn't send none out this time, hon. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. We're just going to thread the creature's legs together, if you will, kind of like Frankenstein, I guess. Just sewing it together. Okay. And if we can't get it all, I'm not going to worry about it because we still want to shape and form the legs. And there's always a way that we can add the extra to it. So if you guys, oh, I'm not supposed to say, so I can say it this way. If you guys wouldn't mind telling your friends, passing or blessing the page, if you like what you see, I appreciate it. And go ahead and add a couple more little holes because I'm just going to go ahead and sew up her. Now, I don't really have to be so strict on how many pieces I use now because I already got it started. And I wanted to just make sure I had that part very stable because even though it's bending, it's okay. It's going to be molded and cut into the next section of the legs. So I just want to make sure it was very secure, even though it would have already secured itself by adding, you know, all the papers and stuff to it and the paint. but I just want to make sure, because once I do it, I don't want to do it again. I want it to stay. So right now, I kind of run out of enough of my wire to go all the way across again. So all I'm doing is I'm twisting it around it just to help it have a little more protection here. This is not the best wire for this, but it's what I had handy that I grabbed at the time. And what you can do is you can use a stronger wire, you guys. So go ahead and get this going. Alrighty. And now the parts here that you see that obviously her leg isn't going to match, I'll show you how to deal with those in a few minutes. Now what we're going to do is bring this leg back down, flip her over. Remember, she is still adjustable at this point. You can readjust her, cut her up, make her different, however you want to do this. She's still moldable. It's just like clay. A little harder, of course, because it's wire, but you understand what I mean. So I am going to go ahead and fold this side up now because I do have my legs started and wired here. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just trying to get a base form to get the legs started. And since this had that piece cut out, this is where it's going to have to be a little more delicate. Is it Ellen? Elsa? I can't see it. Sorry. Well, hello, everybody. Hi, Becky. Hi, Nella? Is it Nella? Well, hello, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm lousy at names. I really am. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead once again on the opposite leg. Fold this more so you guys can see. We're going to do the same thing to put her legs together, or creature together. We're going to go ahead and put some holes through here. If this starts tearing up, don't panic. It's okay, because it's like skin. This is like peeling off your skin if you got a sunburn. So let's not worry about that. What we're going to do is we're going to pretend we're healing it. When we put this together, we're going to pretend we're healing it when we sew it together. And then when we put the main stuff back in here, whoops, sorry. When we put the rest of it together and start building her up, you'll see how that'll start staying. Let me get some holes on this side. Bear with me a second here. I want to really get this part. And then we can skip some. And maybe one there. Okay. So, get her legs out of my way. This is that piece that was cut off. I wish I would have saved that. That was kind of dumb on my behalf. You guys, when you cut pieces off, save them. I threw it away because I was thinking grandbabies, you know, it's a little harder, unsafe for them, but we can always lock them up. So I'm just going to take a little piece of wire, the cage itself, because these legs would totally be, because I don't know if you can see it, it's way over here to here. So it would be about here, and that leg would be that thing compared to how big this leg is. So what we're going to do, we're going to open up our leg, and I'm going to take this piece of wire. Before I do any sewing of anything, all I'm going to do is take this wire. I'm going to go ahead and flip it on the underneath of it. Let me see. I want it at the end. So let me see if I can get the band a little better for me there. Okay, she did. And I'm going to just put it under the skin. And I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of wire, and we're going to put that together. This is going to give us that extra width in between her legs to meet the other leg that we don't have. So by doing this, we're going to save ourselves a big headache in the long run. We're just going to put a little wire here, get that straight so I can connect the two, and we'll go ahead and add a little wire here. I don't know why my system did that, but it's okay. And we're going to add a wire here and go right back through the bottom. I know it's not pretty, but that's okay. You'll never see it once it's done, so it's not going to matter. And we're just going to fold that under. The reason why I did that is now, look, now I got this big old reach in here. It's about 1/2 inch to 1 inch bigger, which should match pretty decent with this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fold this skin back over. And now I'm going to take another little piece just to do the other side the exact same way, you guys. Pull the skin up and get it to reach here. I don't know if you can see that. I hope so. And we're just going to get it to the best place we can that we can meet up with the wire. You just twist that on there just a little. Good enough. Make it stay. And then we're just going to sew it right onto this side here to the very first part of this wire. Here we go. I know you can't really see this. I'm just adding the same thing to the opposite side. And when I say meet up with the wire, I'm trying to get a part where the triangle is still intact. So we got a hole going, and now we're going to go ahead. We gave ourselves that extra skin, that extra half an inch. So we can start sewing hole up here. We just get a little piece. I don't know if I can see. Yeah, this is a creature, and we are making something for Halloween. At this point, you can call her anything you want because she's really just an outline, if you will. So she can be made into an angel, or not to put good in the same name as bad, but you can make her into like maybe a creature from the Blue Lagoon or whatever it's called. It's a long time ago, I don't remember. And you can just make her into anything at this point. Make her into any creature you want. You get her to go through here. So we're just sewing her together. And that's all we're going to do. I'm not going to pull too hard this time because I actually want that extra inch in here. I almost forgot I wanted it. Or at least that inch or half an inch in there. There we go. So when you're doing that, go ahead and just sew it normal. And then take your end and loop it around one time and catch the wire. Just as if you were sewing. And you know how you go in when you're looping something, and then you go back in, and then you come back out and you loop it again. That's all I'm doing. And then we'll go ahead and we're just going to go up her legs just a little here to get her to be secure, because this leg is definitely not that great on her. Always got to be one weak point. So let's see. What's my next hole? I know I made holes. Let me get a hold of this better. And put it right through here. And sew that through there. I want that gap, so I'm not going to pull that hard. I'm just going to pull it this way here. And I'm going to match it to this hole. I'll get that to go and then pull it again because it came kind of loose there. And not let it come through. There we go. And now I'm just going to twist that in. I know you can't really see. I wish I could show you better. You're going under this wire and then just flipping it. Oops, get the right wire. Flipping it through and pulling it just so it stays at that area. And I just stabbed myself with a piece of wire. So feel free to cut them off so you don't stab yourself, okay? A little bit of blood never hurt my hand, but I don't want it on my creature, so give me 1 second here. Got a tissue. Okay. Get that off. Thank God I knew the wire was clean, right? Okay. So, now we got this started. We can just hide all these little pieces of wire. Notice that piece that's poking right there. There we go. And now we got our little extra here started. Let's go ahead and do one more loop here since I have the hole. And what I'm doing is this little loop, we're just going to make this our final little, oops, get over here. Our final little loop here, and then I'm going to start showing you how we can figure out how to mold the legs. Okay. And we're just going to twist this right through here. Doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. It's okay. Oh, in case I didn't say it, I'm Shauna, and this is ringing like craps. I'm sorry. So our little creature here. Here we go. And now what we're going to do is stick our hand in here, and we're going to pop her leg back out because she's still movable. And we're just going to do this on both sides just to stand her up and see if this is how we want it, how much of the legs on the inside we have to make, and what we're going to make them out of. There we go. And does she stand? Oh, yay. She still stands. Maybe after I adjust this part of the legs, she won't. I didn't think she would stand. At least not yet. Okay. And we know that's her little... Well, everybody has one. That's a little behind here. Okay. So she still stands. So, yes. Okay. And we got our little split here, which we're separating her two legs. So, this here, the part here, in between the legs... There you go. I have my hands. To fix that, we can take the same concept of the wires and just thread it up and make sure that our final... I'm sorry, it looks disgusting. I apologize. The final part will be up in the growing area so that we do have that covered as well. And then we will cover her the exact same way that we covered her with everything else. And this is one way to do her legs. And then you just adjust her legs and everything and judge where they're supposed to be at. Now, let me grab one. I didn't get it out ahead of time. My bad. Sorry. Let me grab this. Oh. Okay. Now, we're going to bring her here. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and raise you guys up just a little. I'm sorry. I should have said close your eyes so you don't get dizzy. Now, we have our torso here. And we started our legs. Now our question is, how tall do we want her? And do we want to continue as giving her feet, legs, arms, the whoop? And why not? So, obviously we're not going to need the whole cage. We can start molding the cage into her legs and stuff like this. Let me raise you up. Oh my God. Hey, Grandpa. Bring me the black charger. My system's gonna shut me down in any time. Oh my goodness. It was 4. I could have sworn it was 4. Anyways, I'll do it as long as I can. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is judge how tall she's asked. The charging cord.
Where are they?
By the desk in the living room with all want the black one. Yeah, I just left them in there. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna match this here. What I think I'll do is we'll go ahead. We'll cut this other case. Let me bring this down so you can see. You're not here for me. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and cut this down and separate this metal piece, or we could keep it. We'll debate that before we cut it. All the way down to the bottom. Get rid of the bottom metal. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, here's the bottom metal part. We'll get rid of that. Keep it. We'll set it aside. And we're going to go ahead and say that we're going to go ahead and make her a little taller. Now, obviously, her upper leg here has to be a little longer to look more human-like. Because even though she's a creature, we still want her to be human-looking. Raise you up. So we probably want to add at least that much more of the upper leg. And then we want to start with the knees and then the lower leg. So we're going to have to go ahead and do that. So let's see what we can do. Oh, I'm sorry you guys can't see the top of her. My apologies. There you go. So we're going to, what do you guys think? Tell me what you guys think. Should we make her longer, taller? I'm open to suggestions, you guys. Anything you got, I'm willing to listen. We can make her taller, or we can start with her arms and making her arms. I always call it a creature or her because obvious reason for a female, but I still think she's heading towards a creature. Let me see. Any other? Oh, thank you, Johnny. Any other thing? It looks okay. Okay, thank you, Nella. I hope I said your name right. Okay.
I didn't find them.
You didn't find a plug. Okay. Is Red listening to this?
And it's the carving tool, right?
No, charging for the computer to plug it in.
Oh, yeah, we're going to the new one, sweetheart.
The new cord. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start this. See how long I get to stay on, huh? Okay, what I decided we were gonna go ahead. That's rude, dude. Go ahead and do with this here is we're gonna cut this out. Okay, so I think What do you guys think? Cut it out? Why don't we start with cutting out the bottom while I think about if I'm going to cut the top. Let me lower you guys back down. Watch your eyes. So sorry about that. I hate when I have to do that. So we're going to go ahead. All I did, just like with the other one, guys, is, whoops, I had different scissors. And because these ones have plastic on it, I am going to grab my other scissors. They have plastic on the end, and the other ones do not. Let me grab them. So if the other plastic gets in the way, it doesn't have it here. It won't matter too much. So let me go ahead. Yay, thank you. You guys, give me 1 second. Let me plug you guys in. Okay. Oh, there's the plug.
I tried to handle it.
Kind of. Huh? I just hit myself in the face with it. Can you take this out? Thank you. I was fixing my cabinet that fell on my head here. So my room is still kind of a little mess, but we're getting there. Excuse me. Oh, sorry guys, I'm plugging you in. It's kind of one of those weird plugs. At least it's different than what I'm used to. All right, so we are back. Hello again. So we're going to go ahead, thank you, and use the older scissors to cut this rim out. But we're going to keep this rim. I am going to lower you more. I just want to make sure it was starting to charge, and it is. So yay! I'm so grateful. You guys, if I'm missing your comments, excuse me, if I'm missing your comment, I'm sorry. Usually, oh, Tammy, you do arms first? Okay, we still have to cut it, so we can do that. Hey guys, if I'm missing your comments, I will go back through them. Let me get a drink of water, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna squish it so you guys can see it. I just want to cut this off. This is, I always say one pile is probably the harder. Like making the lady herself so far, I think her legs are gonna be the hardest. As far as the wire, I think cutting off the rim of these things is the hardest. But it's flexible, so you can make it adjust to not cutting or poking your hands. So just push it out of your way as you cut it. And then that way, hopefully it won't cut you. I'm just using some of my old pairs of scissors that are actually dull, so they're only good for this, really, truth be told. Let me straighten this back out and squish it the other way. Get my hand up there. There we go. Okay, so we got to open up so I can get my hands in here. We're just going to finish getting this rim off. Ooh, this basket was mismade. You can see where they didn't do it right. And almost like they put a bunch of wires on top of wires and then just threw paint on it to glue it. Come on, factories. Alright. So we got this here out of our way. Oh, let me cut this off. Oh, just so you guys know, because I didn't tell you. Those that are new, this was bought from the Dollar Tree. They have two sizes of these baskets that I've seen like this here, the wire ones. One is the larger one that we're using and a smaller one. Whether you get a large one or a small one, it's the same price, $1 plus 8 cents for tax. Depends on where you live. Here's $1.08. So just so you know, get the bigger ones. That way you got more wires to work with. And in order to do her arms, we are going to have to cut this section, this section off as well and cut up. So what we're going to do, go ahead and get this section started. Because all I want right now, all we're going to be working with is the actual wire. I don't know how this is echoing in the computer, so if it hurts your ears, you guys, I apologize. It is a weird noise. Let me fold that out of my way. Oops, let go of me. There we go. We'll just cut the rest of this off. Okay, so our creature is starting to look pretty good. Let me cut this out. Alrighty. Hey, this is pretty cool, guys. hang on to this. We can still make something cool out of this. Let me just toss it over there. We'll keep it. Okay, so now we got our next wire. I'm just going to stretch it this way because we're going to make her arm. And then we're going to stretch it this way. All I'm doing is stretching out, see which way I want it to go. And I know you can't, let me move that out of the way before I cut myself on it. I know you can't really see. Well, you know what? Let me raise you way high, okay? So bear with me. Okay, oops. She's a little flat there. We'll adjust her later. There we go. Okay, so obviously she doesn't have a neck, the head, or the arm areas. So we're going to have to build those. So to do that, we're not doing it this way. We're just looking at it, get an idea how high we actually want her to go. And that actually, the whole length is actually pretty good if you think about it, because you're going to mold it in. Arm-wise, I think we start with, okay. Oh, thank you. He bought me some water. Let me move this out of my way. She's growing. She's getting longer. I'm going to lower you guys back down. And we're going to get busy. We'll work on her a little longer here, as long as my hand will hold out. Okay. You know, I don't want to bring it on the outside because I really like the way she's built. So we're going to take this wire and place it on the inside of the other wire. Remember, it is adjustable, even though I just stretched it out because I was going to do the arm first. But in order to have the arm in here, you have to have an arm hole or a place to start the arm. So we'll go ahead and just slide this in here. Get in there. And we're going to switch it around to the opposite end because the other side was a small end. Let me roll these wires in here so they quit catching. And we're going to pick it up, stick it on the inside of this, of her herself, her whole body, if we can get it to go. Come on. The wire's catching the wire, so it doesn't want to go. So we're going to have to do it little by little. Come on. Never thought I'd have so much trouble getting a piece of wire in something, huh? Okay. That's why. Some of these wires are sticking out. Okay. So what you got to do is get this in first before we do anything. Okay. What's that? I don't want to knock anything off. It's inside well enough that I can see. I know the head will still have to add wire to build a head. But right now, because we all going to go ahead and build the body, so we still got to build the rest of the chest, the armholes, the neck before we even get to a head. So we'll go ahead and pull this way down here. Come on, pull. Get in there. But I still want to keep the same form as her body. So in order to do this, what we're going to have to do is not drop my scissors on my foot. We're going to go ahead. We're just going to give it a temporary hold so we can look at it. But in order to do that, we're going to actually put some holes in the thing here. And we're going to sew it in just like we would in anything else. But this time, guys, I'm not going to use the wires. I'm actually going to get some of these ties, the pipe cleaners, and I tell you why. One, it won't be seen. Two, it's a thicker wire. Three, we're just placing it to see where we want it. So this is easier to take out than what that other wire would be if we decided we don't like it there. So I can go ahead and just thread it right through. See how easy that one is? We'll just do it that way. We'll just thread it through. I have to turn it this way, guys, so I have to be able to get my hands inside or inside her little cage here. Tie that really, really super tight. And I'm going to go ahead and cut these in so I can just use the rest of this instead of wasting. Okay. So, can you guys see? Let me raise you up just a little, you guys. I know, I just don't have a good enough camera setting. So we got that started. Remember, the inside's not going to matter. Never going to see it. So what we're doing, in case you didn't get to see, is I'm just trying to get this wire to stay inside. It'll stay a lot easier, a lot faster with this type of, with a zip tie or a pipe cleaner. Because that way, the other wire will be too hard to cut off. And I mean, it's doable, but it will take more time. This way, we can just go ahead and get it to stay where we want it to stay so we can start the next phase. Okay, now once again, I gotta turn it just a little so I get my hand inside the cage. And do that little extra. I think I'll leave that little piece there just for now. So that way we get an idea. We got to get this inside hole here. And the side that's giving me problems is the side that's closest to you guys. So let me go ahead and just kind of flip it. Whoops, flip it around. And let me grab this side real fast because there must be a piece of wire sticking in it that's making it hard. Okay, we got my scissors and a pipe cleaner. So you take a pipe cleaner, you guys. You can cut it as big as little as you want. Like I said, we're just going through. Once again, it is a cage. You can see the little triangles. All I'm doing is trying to poke a hole through one of the triangles. Even though it does already have, you know, everything on it. It's already started getting built. And I'm trying to put the wire through one, because you can't see, it's kind of awkward. I'm putting the wires through one of the triangle so it will hold it, so that you have a chance to catch it and make it keep a hold of the new piece of wire going onto the woman here. Okay. Now, once again, I know you can't see this, but I'm going on the inside. It has to be on the inside. It doesn't have to, but it's pretty on the inside because you're not going to see it. So I'm just going to push that a few times. You guys, once again, I cannot see your comments. I'm sorry, I just can't see them. But when I have a chance, I will go back through and answer as many questions as there are. Okay. So we got that side on. We're going to go ahead. I want to try to get it close enough. Let's try to do this side. Let's see if I can just do it at an odd angle. Well, I'm going to stab it first without the odd angle because I don't want to stab myself. So what you got to do is find a triangle. Okay. There's my hole. Now I'm going to turn it towards you guys. Okay, you with your scissors make a hole. Go ahead and slide your pipe cleaner. Remember, I can't see. You know what? I can stand up, right? You're going to slide right through that hole. You want to catch this wire, but a lot of it went on the inside, so let's just pull that wire right back out. You don't have to have all the wire inside of it, just enough, because we want to be able to mold it. So let me get a hold of that and pull. Okay, let me stick the other wire, the ziplock tie. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. Sorry, I should have warned you. I thought I moved it down. The zip tie goes, or the pipe cleaner goes right through another triangle, and you're just wanting them to stay. And you don't want to waste all that wire because that's what you're going to mold with. So that's all I'm doing when I'm saying I'm going around trying to tie it. And then I have to put my hands on the inside to twist it. I am pulling it as tight as I can. But still, these are easier to cut off if you decide you want it to. And we are going to go ahead and trim this one so I can use some more of this wire instead of wasting another pot tie. Now, a back, we got a front. Whoops, let go of my shirt. I'm going to stretch my wire just a little because I wanted to catch the back. Oh, let me raise you guys up. Watch your eyes, you guys. I'm sorry. This is probably I have to say this is the hardest part. The legs were nothing. This is more challenging. Okay, so we're going to go ahead once again and stab my foot again with the scissors. God, I'm a klutz today. Okay, we're just going to take the other scissors then. Oh my goodness, now I'll try to stab myself with the... Oh my gosh. I'm going to make another hole. Or go ahead and make the hole inside your already made mold. We're going to take our little pipe cleaner, go through that little piece there. You want to catch a triangle. I say triangle because once again, a garbage can is a triangle. And then try to wrap the little piece on the other side of the triangle and then just twist it on. Don't worry about her body starting to get smaller or kind of lose its shape, because she's totally moldable at this point. We can make her bigger or smaller. And if you really truly don't like see how it is laying, there we go. And even if it shows through the front and you don't like how it's laying, it all can be cut and readjusted. So now I'm going to stand her up and show you guys what we got going right here. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, now watch your eyes, guys. I don't want you to get your eyes hurt here. We'll get dizzy. Okay, now we got the top part of her body going here. And we got the front of her. And I do like basically how she looks here in the front. This here we can readjust. Anything that's not perfect and you want to readjust it, this is the time to do it. Because once you add a head, you cannot get back inside that basket. And if something goes wrong and you truly need to readjust something and you can't get inside the head, don't cut off the head because it's a lot of work. But what you can do is something I will show you. You're going to start molding from this is just, think of this as the skeleton bones. This is just all base form. This is all skeleton. So anything we want to add to this or take away from, we can do it. It's just a skeleton. So as you can see up here, we got her body attached to the wire. Not perfectly, but it's okay. Because, we're going to turn around here, the wire will probably have to get cut in some places because it doesn't expand well enough because I used the bottom instead of the top, which is okay. Let me lay her back down and show you what I mean. And bring you guys back down, okay? Alrighty, here we go. Okay, whoops. I want to show you this part. I kept going down. Now, see how the wire is not touching? If I would have used this end, the wide end, I wouldn't have this problem. But since I did not, I can do one of two things. Cut it out and do it again on the opposite side. Remember how much I struggled with this side? And I flipped it. Or I can add little tiny holes and maybe put one or two more here just to pull that close enough. And then this here, don't worry about it. Even though it's not going to look perfect or pretty like maybe this might, this here will start getting mold into the other areas. So you will never see this dent, okay? Unless you want it there for something else, maybe a tentacle or something coming out of her chest. After all, it's a creature for Halloween. You'll never see this. This is okay. As long as you got your base form attached to the other part of the skeleton you already got made, don't worry about any parts that may not look the way you think they should. Because what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to fix and hide those. Remember, there's no mistakes in art, just happy little accidents. I do believe Bob Ross always said that. So anyways, okay. So we got her. Try to put up here between my legs. We got her here. Here's her chest again. And even though it's dent out, it's fixable. We're not going to panic. Let me bring this over so I can see it. Oh, hi, Leslie. Bring it a little closer so I can see it even without my glasses. And I think that's it. There you go. Okay. So anyways, what we're going to do from here, she will eventually be molded up. But because this is the upper part of the chest, which comes out to the shoulder blade, and the shoulder blades are what we want. So we're going to have to start molding this to how we think we want it. And then, remember, you can cut this too. And I will be cutting it. I'm just molding it right now to give me an idea of how I really want it to go and my shape. And okay, as long as I can see it in my head, I can do it. Okay, so right here in the front, I'm just going to cut it. I'm cutting it so I can fold pieces and mold pieces. So doesn't matter it's not straight because I'm trying to make the upper part of her body, and it gets kind of messed up there anyway. So we're just going to get that folding, and you can see how easy it is to fold and mold the wire. See? Now remember, it doesn't meet here. It's okay. It will by the time we're done. It just takes a while. Okay. So I know that we can adjust and make this work, and that's what we needed to know. And now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to cut her. I'm thinking right about here is having issues. So I'm going to turn her around. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to cut this here. Oops, come on. Get a hold of her again. I need a better way of filming, huh, guys? And this is all moldable. I can cut it further and take this whole section out, or make it reach to there. I think I am going to bring it down just a little more, because what we're going to do now is I just want to see how much of this I'm actually going to be either cutting off or just wrapping into it. Okay. You turn her here. Now we all know her neck isn't that big. Well, it could be. It's a creature, right? So we're just going to go ahead. Let's get my hand in here. I'm going to fold this stuff in. I will probably end up coming back and cutting stuff out. But for now, I want to just show you guys the height. Remember, it's all adjustable. Don't be afraid to fold it under. And if you want to use that as a way to hold your wires together, you can do that too. Let me pull it back out. Okay, let's get down there. Just want to get an idea. Okay, so here's her chest, the upper part of the body. This will go into the neck. So we're going to go, even though this will turn into the neck, I'm just going to fold it because I just want to show you. Eventually, we will use this whole half to build her neck. Her arms will be reattached, but I just want to show you that we can, by manipulating the basket or the wire and tying it to the skeleton, we can start designing the upper body parts and work it into our neck. So I'm not going to worry about the placement of an arm. You can actually cut it all off and add your neck there if you just wanted to fold it under. You can do pretty much anything at this stage because it's like clay. It's moldable. You can do anything you want with this. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it back up. I was just getting an idea where I wanted it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to cut this little section off because there is a lot of, there is a lot of the basket. And we're not making the arm yet. I am going to keep this piece. We can use this on the leg. So we're going to keep this. I'm just going to cut this section off. Keep that. So now I got an easier piece I can fold and hold on to and manipulate. So here's our front. Actually, I thought it was the side I cut. My bad. But that's okay. I can fix it. Not a big deal. I should have held it better. With all this, see how easy it is to fold that? I mean, a little bit of pushing, but you know what? Not so much you're going to hate doing this. And we're just building a neck form. I'm watching the storm come in. I'm wondering if it's actually going to physically rain. Oh, we've just been lied to again. And the storm missed us. Okay, here's the front of her. So with this here, there should be a little bit of a bulge because we got her chest here. So we want that little bit of bulge. And then, of course, comes into the shoulder area and then into the neck. So I'm going to go ahead and just reach on in there. Don't be afraid to stick your hand in here. If you want to wear gloves or, you know, make sure you don't hit those ends of the wires, absolutely, feel free to. And I'm just going to push it out. And then I'm going to use my arm here to debate how much of this is going to actually be part of her chest, turning into her neck. Now, she is a creature, so she doesn't have to be perfect, but we are working on not only making the creature, but learning how to make it into a somewhat of a human being as well. I know it's a little tight there because I got that wire tight, but that's all right. We'll just adjust it. Use your hands. And then we got her little chest here, which would go up here. And then, let me fold this out of my way. Then it's coming up. And it would pretty much kind of, if you will, not bulge out like it's a chest, but it's starting to go back into where if you were skinnier, unlike me, you would be going into what you would have as a collarbone to your shoulder bones. So I would keep only a little of this because we're not going to make her 10 foot tall. She's only going to be about 5. I'm going to push some of that down, get it to come down. Not too far down because this will curve into her chest bone. We're going to give her a collarbone. And get this to go. I hit my hand. Okay, so now that's the front of her. And all these other wires. So you can see the depth of how much extra we're going to be making of her. But we're still working on molding it. So, okay. I kind of lost my breath line here, but it's okay. I can fix that. I'm going to bring you guys back up. Hello again. Okay, because I had to sit up here. It's kind of starting to hurt my legs. Let me bring you up a little higher here. Watch your eyes, just so you can get an idea of where we're at. Now we got her legs, and we got the separation here, so we can work on that. Now, the hardest part, and I have to be honest, so far this is, for me, the hardest part, is molding the upper part of the body. One, because I'm not built that way, nor have I ever been built with a collarbone. I know I have one, everybody does, but obviously I'm a big person, so I don't see that on me. So I'm kind of like, oh gosh, I gotta remember where they're at. Try to put my learning, if you will, my education into some form in my brain again. Well, I can recognize what I'm doing. Let me bring her down here. So I think I need to get a hold her. Just saying hold her base. Hook it to my table. Right about here. I think that's a pretty fair for her bust line. And we can start. Let me fold this down so it doesn't cut my hand. We can start just molding this down some more. And it's going to come up just a little. Obviously, we don't have the head here yet, but we are just working on getting this section. You guys, at this point, all I'm doing and all anybody has to really do is sit here and debate how deep of an imprint they want, how big they want the chest to be, or how little, how high you want before you reach your actual collarbone, how much of this is going to be the midsection of her chest, if you will, or the upper chest, I'm sorry. So, all these wires, well, they're not wire, these pieces of metal, we're going to mold them into a head. As you can see, we started getting, it's starting getting there. It's not the easiest task, let me tell you. The other part is because the form is so basic. It's just the way you move your hand. So like if you have clay, I cut myself again. It's like if you have clay, you feel the clay with your hands, right? You want the same concept with this, you guys. You're going to start building. It's like, okay, I know you have a little bit of a belly. Imagine this being clay. So when you're taking your paper mache, or if you're going to add clay on top, or a silicone-based, silicone is what it is, really. I made one out of silicone. You're going to mold it. You just have that continuous molding. And at this point, we can sew steel mold this. We can bend her legs all to pieces, as you saw. We can turn it into anything that you want it to be. So at this point, if we decided we wanted her head, but we wanted it split in two, this is the time to do it. Because you're building from the inside out. So whatever you make as your skeleton base is what you get, but how do I explain this? Just because this is the skeleton doesn't mean this is the form we're going to keep. Remember how I said you can fill these in? We're going to add in, we're going to hide it. We're going to start building her body out. If you take clay, once again back to clay. You take clay, you made a round ball, and you thought you want that ball bigger, and you take more clay, and you add it to that ball, and you make it bigger. That's what I'm talking about by filling it in, by molding it in. That's what we're going to be doing. But we're not going to use clay. We're going to use the same concept of the paper towels that we wore, but we're going to use a different base. Instead of the Mod Podge, obviously today isn't a good example because it's supposed to rain, but it's getting to be hotter spring till summer. So it will dry faster. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the mixture of the flour, the water, and a little bit of salt and make that paste. So we're going to go ahead and do the paper machine. One, it saves on paper towels. Two, got extra paper out of the mail, right? We're just going to use all that stuff. If you do have old envelopes from the mail, they send you all this junk mail, put it to use. Add it. Personal information, of course, destroy, but add the rest to your model instead of wasting or having byproducts. So you guys, I think at this point, we pretty much know where we're going with it. Our little creature is working out quite well, but my hands are tired, and I think I cut myself 3 or 4 times. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for today. So this is video 3. I hope you guys like it, and I'll try to come on tomorrow so we can do video 4. I'm pretty excited about getting the head started. I wasn't going to do a head. I was thinking, no, we'll just do the torso and then we'll make like smog or something come out of her, because you can do that too. But then I thought, I kind of want to do the whole thing. And then, depends on how we decide if we're going to paint it or not. We just might put lights in and light her up. So anything is possible at this stage. So you guys just remember, when you are making something, anything at all is possible. There's no limitations but your imagination. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Like I said, I did not have help today with reading comments. My daughter is testing today, so I will go back and look through them. So you guys, I appreciate you all very much being here, and as always, be blessed.